Good afternoon, it is Monday and just running off a bit of barley. Now, not too much happened with Storm Bert, still hanging around, pretty strong winds today, but as you can see, when it adjusts, soon, come on, there you go. Lovely blue skies today, so yeah, a bit clearer. On Saturday morning, I came down to the barn here just to have a check and came down to this, which was not ideal. So this whole area here, as you saw, was flooded out into the pile of barley. Now what I have done is moved what barley is good from that side to this side behind us. So that is untreated barley on the end of the treated, but we're just going to have to use it and we'll just start from this end and work through. This is all the kind of the wrecked stuff, which is really unfortunate. You know, there's a good few ton there, and at I think it's like £280 a tonne or something. £200, £280 a tonne. There's probably 3 to 4 tonne there, so you know, big difference on what's going on. And that was just with the wind and the rain driving in. It came in underneath the doors. The doors were shut. We'd shut them. We normally don't. We normally leave them open, to be honest, just for ease of coming and going. But with the weather, shut the doors. Rain drove in underneath them, and the water at this groove here was about 3 inch deep, so that went all the way through the bottom of the grain pile. So what I've had to do is just kind of like skim in above that and take what I can. There probably is still some decent barley in there, but for the means of having to go through it with a shovel, it was just easier to do. So we'll be giving that to people who come and collect what we call the sweepings. They take them for who's that? Don't know. They take them for chickens and stuff like that. They normally just come in, sweep it up around the bottom of the mixer and the mill. They can have some of that, and the rest of it will obviously have to get dumped, and we'll get rid of it. So yeah, as I say, just running off some barley now. 4 tonne. Can't think who it's for. It's going to Kurt Michael, I think. So just kind of getting that done off this morning, and well, it's now afternoon. I'm getting hungry. I'm waiting for my lunch. I've got one more bag to do after this. So yeah, this week I might have, well, I've got a muck heap to empty, which I might be trying to get done this week. I think that might be a Thursday, and then hopefully on Wednesday I'll be continuing the bits of path and cutting back at the new place out Mackled. So yeah, little bits and pieces. I'll see what we get on with. Weather-wise, I think we're due to be fine, getting a little bit chillier again, but nothing like what we had the week before last. And I have just bought something new, which when it arrives, I'll show you what it is, to counteract cold. So, yeah, I will see you later then. Take care. Well, it's Thursday, and I'm not really sure exactly where this week has gone. This has absolutely flown by. We're back to frosty conditions, frozen windscreens, yeah, and cars that don't take over. So yeah, I'm going to have to just kind of sit in here with my foot on the accelerator for a bit, because if I leave this for any more than like a minute, it turns itself off, which is not great. I do have the part to replace that. It's just getting to it to replace it. I need to do it at the garage rather than here, because there's a few things I'm not sure on. Heading down to the farm, going to be doing some milling this morning, and then possibly, well, hopefully emptying a muck heap this afternoon with the old tractor. So taking that out for a run. So I will hopefully get some footage of that. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, but I will see what I can do. Yeah, so I'm actually just because this week's video has been kind of a little bit short on content, I'm going to add a bit here, which is also going to be shared on the T social media platform, the TT one, about my views on Movember and mental health and stuff. So if you're on TikTok, you probably will have seen this, but I'm going to add it in here. So yeah, see you in a minute. November, month of many things. First frosts, possibly your first snow like we've had this year. First named storms. You know, you normally get, it's the turn of the winter, isn't it? So November arrives, you had bonfire night, we've had Remembrance Sunday. There's a lot goes on in November. You also see people sporting dodgy facial hair, What about things like doing 25 press-ups for 25 days? All the way down. Or is it even sticking their head, or even their whole body in cold water? One thing that is for certain, you've definitely seen plenty of things going on. Let me get warm. By the way, there was no way my body was fitting in that bucket, and I wasn't climbing in the IVC. So, whew. So why do we do it? What is all this? Why do we chuck our heads in cold water, go swimming? Well, a lot of that is about raising awareness. We show people what we're doing. You know, we're making people look like my videos. You can see what I'm doing. You know, yeah, I've just stuck my head in a bucket of cold water, and it's currently about 0 degrees C. To the point of I couldn't fill it with the hose because the hose is frozen. So yeah, you know, this is all about raising awareness. And what we're raising awareness for is mental health, particularly mental health in men and suicide. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't have mental health, but now is the time for us to raise awareness. Doing them press-ups, nominating people. I've done it all before. I've never, ever managed to get to 25 days of doing 25 press-ups. Unfortunately, a good few years since I picked up an injury on this shoulder, and a few years since I picked up an injury on this shoulder. So press-ups are not very easy for me. I'll stand and talk, you know that, you know, you can see that. So yeah. So what is the aim of all this? Why do we do it? It's all to start conversations, to start talking, to get people who need help to get help, to get people who can help to help. You know, whether it's donating money, you know, when in the past I've done the Movember, we raised money through the charity Movember, absolutely fantastic, and they put money in all over the world into lots of different projects, all to help various different people. You can donate to charities like on the Isle of Man, I'll Listen. You know, people like that, they're there to help when people need it. You know, they've always got the option to talk to someone. There's the Samaritans, there's everyone, you know, and even if you can't donate time, you might be able to donate, if you can't donate money, you might be able to donate time or something towards one of these things. There is always something to do. Giving that friend who always seems a little down a call or a message. How are you doing, mate? You all right? You know, just checking in on people. And often it's the ones who don't seem down that have the issues. You know, there was a great video years since of it showed two rugby supporters, I think it was rugby, it might have been football supporters, and they were in the stands next to each other, and one of them's really kind of like jovial and very happy and shouting, and the other one looks a bit down. And as it goes on, it goes through and through, and then you find out the one that was really happy is the one that committed suicide, and it was all a coping strategy. You know, let's look after each other, let's stay together, keep it real. You know, that's the way to do it. You know, we can do all this if we work together. You can get through anything. With that one, I'm going to go do some work, and I'm going to go get warm. See you in a bit. Just on with mixing some feed, and I've just brought the trailer in to fill up, and as I was trying to roll the cover back on it, it was resisting, and I couldn't work out why. But that there's ice. So the whole top, there was a puddle on top of the cover, which was frozen, which made it a little interesting. Yeah, so just running, kind of overflowed a bit, but I've got 6.5 ton-ish in there, ready to go into the trailer. Yeah, we'll get that sorted in a minute. I'm a little bit warmer now. Oh God, that water was cold, very cold. Oh, one thing that I was going to show the other day is the Milwaukee grease gun. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by them. I would really like to be sponsored by them because their kit is fantastic. But that is a game changer. Now, I do have one of them at home before, which stopped pumping. And the unfortunate thing on the island is finding someone who can maintain it. So at that point, it was actually cheaper to buy a new one than it was to risk sending one to the UK to see what it was, and then it might be knackered anyway. So yeah, really good for putting on this. You get a lot of pressure out of it, and obviously there's a lot less pumping. I did the tractor the other day with it, and what would have been kind of 20 minutes going around, pumping each one, took about 10 minutes. It does go through a bit more grease than you would if you're doing it by hand, but it's good. And then I do have a Sagan clip on one of my other grease guns, which I will put on the end of that, and then it's got the proper lock-on clip. I think they're good to something stupid like 30,000 psi, so they shouldn't leak as well, because you do get that when you're using a grease gun. I have most of the Milwaukee stuff now. Really nice, works well. Batteries are not too expensive. I have got, which might have arrived today actually, a heated G-Layer, which I want to have a go at. I picked one of them up the other day. Well, I've ordered one of them the other day. So it was a particularly cold day, and yes, I'm still wearing shorts, but it was just one of them like that would make the difference. And also standing at the side of rugby pitches whilst my youngest plays rugby, that would also make a difference. Well, I'm going to just look to get this filled, and then this afternoon, hopefully, as I say, on with the muck heap. So, see you about. So I didn't get any video of filling it, but here it is, first load of muck, and just going to, hopefully, this will tip. We get it right. Yeah, look at that. Woo. The next one is, hopefully it comes out when it tips. Promising. Right, I think I need to pull forward on that now. Try and get this so it's working. Better go check that actually. It's not the easiest thing to get on and off when you... Oh no, that's obviously not all come off. Yeah, it's not too far off. I'll do for now. I need to go back and get the digger anyway. So I do need it to get a bit more, but I'll have to do that another day. I ain't got time now. Got to get this back, get the digger back. Well, it's Saturday, and that is officially the end of mixed hockey season. Just played the last match, and thankfully we won. I was playing for a slightly lower down team than I normally do, because they're playing their match on Tuesday, and I couldn't make it this week. So yeah, playing for the Ravens, which was absolutely fantastic, lovely to do. And that is it. Another week done. We're into December tomorrow, so start of Advent. If you've got Advent candles, calendars, whatever. Obviously, if you have the candle, you have the old. Burn it for one night, you end up burning about 5 nights, and then you forget to burn it, and then you burn it again, and it burns too much. I remember them when I was a kid. That was always funny. Little bit of a job to do in here on the cabin. The doors have for some reason dropped. I think it's the bottom of the frame on that side. It's come apart. So I'm just going to crack on with that. But I just want to say thank you so much for likes, subscribes and follows. I'm going to head off and do this job now. I've got my drill here and a box of screws. So I'm just going to generally screw things together and see what kind of happens. Yeah, so see you next week. I don't know what next week's going to bring. Bit of all sorts, possibly. Bit of all sorts. But thank you so much. See you later.